Hello, one and all, and welcome to the Insurance Journal's Academy of Insurance's weekly webinar after show. I'm your host, George, and I'm lucky enough to be joined in the after show by a couple of great guests. One is the director of the Academy of Insurance, Mr. Patrick Raitt. Welcome, Patrick. And today's instructor. Today's class was Just Use Mine for Money, Issues with Rentals. And our guest and instructor is Mr. Kevin Amrhein. Kevin, welcome to the after show. It's great to have you here.
It is great to be here once again. Thank you.
So you think that renting things were easy, like you sort of like did the arc of the ages of man of renting, like, oh, cars are easy, this is easy, that is easy. But then you got into a lot of examples like renting a boat without a captain, renting pools, renting this. And the word in the description for the class is the maelstrom that of chaos that can come from renting these other kinds of assets. Why is it so hard to... Well, it's not hard to rent these things, but what makes it so complicated? People leaving their stuff there, exclusions versus, what makes renting like a swimming pool so difficult?
From a coverage standpoint?
Correct.
I think the heart of the issue is that the people that are doing these things, the tech is so easy. It is to monetize. I think people get a little taste. Maybe they start with something like Airbnb and then they realize, oh man, this is what I needed to supplement my income, and what else can I do? And they just don't think about any type of insurance ramification from it. So the policies have scrambled to keep up with essentially reminding people that this is not a commercial insurance policy. It has no intention of insuring a business type exposure. Yet that's exactly what these people are creating when they're monetizing the use of themselves, their homes, their personal property. All the different things we talked about in class today were, I was trying to flesh out more of the exposure than just the ones that I think get a lot of attention. Airbnb is such a huge deal. Insurance people see classes about it all the time and deal with it all the time. Turo on the vehicle side. Still a lot of people I don't think are that familiar with that exposure, at least when I talk to people in class about it. But these other things that I talked about from an insurance standpoint, it's just another perfect example of people are going to do this stuff because it's easy to do. The money is enticing, and it never crosses their mind that they could be liable for something. There could be a bodily injury claim. There could be a property damage claim. Just as if they were hosting a pool party at their house. So I think that's why the conversation is still valid. The tech keeps getting easier. More and more people are signing up to use it. You see in the presentation today, I didn't read all of the data that I put in there, but I summarized the common thread, which is growth. The number of listings is up. The number of users is up. The number of hosts is up. The money is incredible that some of these people are making. And homeowners insurance policies weren't ever contemplating that exposure. So plus it's fun. I like talking about these exposures because I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm an insurance guy and I'm supposed to see risk in everything, but I've always enjoyed the hustle. I've always thought it was really cool when people say, why not? You're willing to pay me? Let's make a deal. And here's the tech that makes it so easy for us to do that. So it's fun. It's fun for me to talk about and, try to help agents help their insureds.
Sure. So at the end of the class, you talked about renting yourself, like renting individual selves for what services they provide or whatever. And one of the large things you talked about renting were boats. One of the clauses in it was captain optional. Do you think companies like that rent large boats should partner with captains that rent themselves and maybe sell that as a package? Or why aren't captains renting themselves out more?
I think they are. That's a great question. I can't help but notice that in some of the listings I see when I look at BoatSetter. BoatSetters, I'm not picking on them. They have to present themselves as reputable to be taken seriously. So insurance, risk, qualifications, they're not going to get people with the boats that are going to pull in a premium to use their service if they don't have adequate insurance, if they don't have checkpoints in place based on who's going to operate this thing. But when you think about how dangerous, and in the example I use, the listing, that boat is docked in Biscayne Bay, Florida, which is a extremely high traffic boat area. If you ever go out it's like an interstate highway for for recreational watercraft. There are people screaming by you, ignoring the navigational boundaries, ignoring the speed, the throttle guidance, ignoring everything, inebriated out of their minds. And yet here's a listing that says you don't even need a captain. You can take this boat. I just, somebody that owns an asset like that, or owns, I use the word asset. I think it's an asset. A boat owner would probably disagree with me, but somebody that owns something like that and would allow somebody to pay them to take it out with 12 people on it and not operate it themselves is just, that's the kind of thing insurance people like to see in insurance classes. It may be the exception, not the norm.
Got it.
But as far as captains renting themselves their own services, I don't have enough experience with the platform. It's very possible that you could pay somebody to take you out. I mean, you pay people to drive you around. Some of the cars that Uber drivers drive are not owned by them.
Right.
Sure. So maybe some of the boats that you can get, particularly the higher end ones, a guy with a lot of money owns a fleet. He's not going to be out there piloting all these, huge personal watercrafts. So maybe there is a market for that.
Kevin, I've got one more sort of statement it's just a statement really. You talked about Swimply and the rental of swimming pools, Shark Tank, they were on that, and they're a growing company. And you talked about the tropical paradise that is Woburn, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
No disrespect. That town is famous for a lot of things. It's got a French Quarter. It's got a large mountain you could see the Northern Lights from. Like, it's got everything. Count Rumford was born there. He invented like the stove, whatever. But
so you can see the Northern Lights from there.
You can do anything in that place.
Tropical paradise.
But I know you're going to be in Boston, in New England soon. So I wanted to let you know the name of the town is actually Woburn, even though it's Woburn. Woburn. So I just want to let you know that. And I think the tropical paradise you're referring to is the town pond, possibly, which has a tropical, it's and that's called Horn Pond. But if anyone asks you about it, Kevin, in person, it's Han Pond. Can you guys say that with me? Han Pond?
Han Pond.
Yes.
Do you put the emphasis on the D at the end? Pond. Han Pond. Or is it just Han Pond?
I think if the D has to be in there somewhere, but
Han Pond.
I notice Patrick's not participating, and that's okay because
I'm not going to disrespect anybody that shows up to any of my classes. And if I call you, no disrespect. Good people from Woburn. Awesome. Bring the heat. I'll take
it, man. Good job.
We'll have a lot of fun with it. There are a lot. Trust me, there are a lot of times I'd rather be in Woburn. I've never even been there, and I would rather be there than where I am. So, no disrespect. We're all friends.
The saying goes, show them you're tough, show them you're from Woburn. Patrick, great. Patrick, great. Welcome to the after show. What do you think of the topic in general, renting for just use mine for money, and with Kevin's class in particular?
So a couple of weeks ago, Kevin and I had a conversation about the class, and I think he was a little concerned about the direction he wanted to go because it's not the normal, hey, we're going to talk about Airbnb and Vrbo and the like. And I thought that this particular session is extremely relevant in the modern, homeowners, personal lines era, where people are trying to monetize just about everything they do. They're trying to hustle and participate in the gig economy. There's probably other apps and websites that you weren't able to get to. I've been watching RV videos recently on YouTube, and there are websites dedicated to people allowing other RVers to boondock on their property, or just go out there and not hook up to anything, just be there. And
Hip camp.
That's
right
there
growth.
along there. Yeah,
it's a huge growth, a huge part of their growth.
Yeah, these are the kinds of things that agents, brokers, underwriters, claims adjusters need to be aware of, because and it's like Kevin said, unless we think to ask the insured about it, they aren't thinking it's a big deal. So what? I rented my pool out last weekend for a 4-hour 10-year-old's birthday party. So what? I rented out my 20-foot boat without a captain to a bunch of people who may or may not have been qualified to operate that thing. They don't even just think, well, I'm gonna cash some checks, I'm gonna get some money, and we'll deal with other things later. So I think this is a fantastic direction to go. I honestly wish this was something that we could have pulled in 200-300 people to see, simply because it's a bigger deal. It's a much bigger deal than any of us probably understands, and the data that Kevin showed proves that.
Yeah, my background is on the agency side, and some people, maybe they look for, we do these deep dive coverage classes, and sometimes there may be a glimmer of hope in the policy for coverage, and a lot of times there's not. A lot of times the exclusions are not gray at all. They're very cut and dry. And the agents that take the classes, maybe they get it. Maybe they get, okay, well, I understand that this is a unique exposure and there's probably no coverage in my policy. The ones that don't get that are the insureds. They don't understand that. It's very possible that the agent is not going to ultimately be brought to the table if there is an uncovered claim, because there might be another insurance policy there. Airbnb's got adequate cover for their hosts. Boat setters got cover for their hosts. But it's too easy, it's too cheap to just say, well, that's somebody else's problem, not mine. We, on the agency side, I believe have the obligation to make sure that our insureds know, if you're doing something like this, the policy that I have control over, the policy that I have provided you, is not going to be there for you. So do you want me to try to do something about that, or do we want to just throw our cards into somebody else's hat?
Right.
But they do whatever they want. You can't control everything these people do. They end up not telling you about an exposure. They have a claim. They file the claim through the portal online for whoever the platform is. Maybe they get adequate coverage and good service. Maybe they don't. You're the insurance agent. You're still going to hear from these people. Mm-hmm. And right. Yeah, of course, you can tell them, look, I can't help you. And I'm not one of those instructors that's going to scream out at agents all the time that every single thing you do better be absolutely correct, or you're going to, I'm not even implying that there's an E&O exposure for the agent here. I'm just saying these are our customers. I feel like we have an obligation to let them know this policy we provided them, it ain't gonna work. So you should probably change that method of thinking. I'm making all this money off of this exposure, but one of the things that I keep harping on, particularly later in the class, is nobody's asking for a certificate. So if you are, let's say, holding your services out for rental, who's asking you to prove that you have insurance for that? Nobody. And if people aren't asking, what's the insurance like? What's the exposure that I'm facing here? If people aren't asking that question, what do most insureds assume? They assume that whatever insurance they have is going to work. And of course we all know it's not. So we can't stop making attempts to educate our customers that these things are great. I love supplement your income, brother. Go get them. But
I was just thinking, Kevin.
Yeah,
I think I got a thought about something for the three of us to look at and think about.
Let's do it.
We ought to find somebody really smart who can do the back end piece. But what about a insurance app, like an app first kind of agency that through the use of algorithms, AIs, all the internet searches, can figure out whether or not applicant for homeowners or personal auto policies, where are they renting out their stuff or are they renting out themselves, and make some coverage suggestions or make some coverage statements to them through that app. I think there's something there.
So it scours the web and it finds that same individual is also offering piano lessons for money or renting out their house, their garage, or their
birthday parties as Shecky the Clown, or
which George can't. You can't put that online. I mean, the kids might see it. That would devastate the kids. They'd say no. That's a real clown. That's not an actual guy. I mean, come on. There's got to be guardrails. There has to be guardrails.
I guess so, but I like the idea.
It is. It's a very good idea. There's no clear. It's like anything else, man. It's so easy for me to sit here and tell agents that they should be talking to people about this stuff, and the agent is sitting there taking the class, going, "I got 5,000 people in my book of business and no help." So,
I've heard from agents that say, "Yeah, I'm getting $50 commission out of this one. I'm not fooling around with it.
Yeah.
Any more questions?"
No.
That's fair, right? I mean, so sometimes, especially in the personal line side, it's about volume and keeping the book of business going.
Well, there are ways to distribute information. Agents are always looking for content for their newsletters and their their social media posts and marketing pieces and so on. So, I mean, if nothing else, maybe there was something in the class that somebody says, okay, well, here are a couple of examples I can share in mass and just say, we support. I mean, I don't know how you would say that, but we certainly support, your desire to supplement your income. Hate to be the insurance guy and all this, but let me know and we'll talk about it. I don't know.
Something.
Well, if for any other reason besides everything we're talking about, the slide at the end with the plumber giving the kid piano lessons is worth a look. It's worth the price of admission. So. Love that.
Thank you, George.
Absolutely. Patrick, thanks for coming.
I had a lot of fun with ChatGPT, and I had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, that's what that is. I love
creating that image.
Cool.
We had to go back and forth a few times. It originally put all the dirt on the kid's face. I was like, no. The plumber's face needs to look dirtier because he needs to look like he just came,
from somebody's septic tank.
And then it did that, and then it put a wrench in his pocket. I'm like, nobody's going to know that's a plumber. Where's the plunger? So then so anyway.
Kevin, thank you for a great class today. And, we need to discuss these kinds of coverages. So thanks again. And remember, Han Pond, if anyone asks you.
Han Pond, Woburn.
Absolutely.
Not Woburn.
Woo. Patrick,
Burn.
Great to see you at the after show. Thanks for stopping by. Kevin, always great to see you. FISCE.com, everyone. Check out Kevin's school. It is fantastic. Gentlemen, on behalf of both of you, this is your host, George, saying thanks, everyone, for coming to the after show. We'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody, and take good care of yourselves.